Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, attention. And there is a great white paper by Adnami that I wanted to present. So Adnami made a great white paper called Unveiling the Metric That Matters, and the metric that matters, in their opinion, is attention, and coincidence, that's something that we care a lot at Smartico as well. So let's see what they talked about. So it's quite a comprehensive study that they did, and it starts with a very true quote that I can just 100% confirm. If an ad goes unnoticed, everything else is academic. And that is very much true, because if the click happens accidentally, that can still be an unnoticed ad. If it happens by a bot, it still is unnoticed, and still I'm measuring click rates and stuff that makes no sense to me. So that is very, very true, and they are going quite deep into that, and they show a few more things that really show how an ad should be measured. They are bringing up at the very beginning a very nice definition. This is like the term advert was done or coined in the 1400s from the Latin word advertere, meaning something, turning someone's attention, and it means that it's so natural that we come back to this attention thing. That is definitely a funny thing, but the most important thing that we see here is times are tough. We have 5,000 ads per day that we are all exposed to. So the question is, to what do we put attention to? And attention then is like 7 times more effective than just viewability at predicting the awareness that a campaign and the recall of a campaign that we have. So nice statistics here that play all into the same thing. Basically what we are also doing at Smartico, measuring the time that an ad really gets viewed. They do especially 5 things here. They measure the time in view. That's their central thing, to say, okay, how much time is an ad really viewed? And that's something that we are talking about over and over again, comparing social media and their view times to what we have on publisher sites is a totally different ball game. While we are seeing publisher sites still being at a duration of 3 to 10 seconds, which they say is the optimal duration for an ad to be viewed, or ad being in the view time, we see that in social media it is less than a second. So putting the same ad impressions on a publisher website compared to what you get on social media already might bring you 5 to 10x what you want in attention. They still say that even a brief duration of as little as 0.25 seconds can have an impact on recall, but obviously that is a lot less, and we have to take that in account. And then they are of course talking about viewability. It really has to be viewable, the ad, otherwise it shouldn't be counting. At least 10% of the ad should be seen. We totally believe in that 100% of the ad needs to be seen to be really viewable. We totally believe that the full format, which they also talking about here, should be viewable. And we are totally believing in engagement. And engagement for us, when we are doing local ads at scale for publishers, does not necessarily mean the click, because that's only a small percentage of the engagement that I can have, that someone really says, give me more information, I want to read more. Engagement can be in a carousel, just clicking through it or staying actively on the banner and seeing all the slides that, for example, a carousel has. So that, I think, is super important to really measure. Do I get attention or don't I get it? And what they come up with, and that is very interesting, we all tend towards saying like display ads don't have a large effect anymore, but if we are redefining of what really as a metric counts, and we say the attention counts, then we can't compare clicks, because with clicks we can't compare that to other channels like TV, where it's also about getting attention for people. And what they then did is a very nice overview that you can see here. They called it the attention economy, and what they basically do is they compared the CPM, so what you pay to get 1,000 impressions, to the price that you pay for 1,000 seconds of attention. And now the interesting thing is what we see when we especially look at online video ads. Means like the CPMs are incredibly high, but obviously I pay a low price for the minutes of attention because I have a long video. But interesting is that what we get in terms of a value for 1,000 seconds of attention, display ads is really a very, very good value and a better value for Facebook. So Facebook, you pay much more for 1,000 seconds of impression. And what we do at Smartico and what the guys at Anami do as well, building high impact ads makes it even more relevant. So what is the cool thing about high impact ads? Having ads that are engaging not only for the click, like the carousels that we are doing, like the swipe ads that we are doing, and all the stuff that also is done by the guys at Anami, while they are doing rather the key accounts and we are rather doing the long tail. So the cool thing is it really brings down the price for 1,000 seconds of attention. And the cool thing is what we definitely see with our high impact ads, we stay probably at the same CPMs. So as we're not going into the key accounts, but rather stay in the long tail, trying to get the mass of small advertisers. I would definitely say, looking at that, a display ad on a publisher can definitely deliver almost the best value for money for 1,000 seconds of attention. And I think that's a total different way to look at display ads. They are not only delivering the clicks, but they're also delivering a very good value for money if you look at the price that you're paying for 1,000 seconds of attention relatively compared to other channels. For example, YouTube, where it's much, much higher CPM, but you get roughly the same price that you pay for 1,000 seconds of attention. So display ads really is very valuable, especially compared to Facebook and Instagram, where you might be paying, especially in Instagram, lower CPMs, but if you count how long the ad is in the visible area, because people are scrolling that fast, they are not engaging with the ads, is higher. So, and to drive that home, if you want to do that at scale with your local advertisers, the question is, how do you report that? Bringing up that screen just on a general level obviously makes no sense. It took me like a while to explain it now, and it is really difficult and it's really complex. It is two different y-axis. That is complex. I'm not sure that the plumber or the restaurant wants to buy this. But what we do at Smartico, which is exactly in line with what here this study found, is we have to make a story that people really care about. And this story you can see here. This is a dashboard that a local publisher in the US is doing. So the very first thing that they tell their advertisers, hey, your ad got viewed 5,546 times. But the interesting thing is it was seen 295 minutes by real people in the visible area of their screens. We tracked that. 17 people went on the page and they stayed 14 minutes and 52 seconds on your page. That makes total sense to a local advertiser. It is very far away from reporting 0 point something click rate. It shows you for an amount of X dollars, you get those 300 minutes of attention on the banner and the 15 minutes of attention on your landing page. So is that worth your money? Yes or no? Much easier to distinguish and to decide compared to having a 0 point something click rate. And this quality attention is something that we are very much convinced is what publishers bring to the table and what no one else can bring. We saw that before in the statistics. Instagram and Facebook have lower times or lower times visible of the ad, and this is something a publisher can bring: quality attention. And I can even continue that. That's what we do on the visual dashboards. We show a lot how we did the banner. We show a lot how we did the landing page. Really make it very visual and understandable. We show on which articles the ad run, how many carousels. So we were talking about the engagement before, how many carousels were swiped through, on which devices people came. So what we totally believe in is telling a story, and that's what Anami does very well with the key accounts. We do that with the long tails, telling a story. And I have to say, saying that your banner got a click rate of 0.2% is not a story. A story is that you build an ad, that you build a landing page, that you got X amount of minutes attention on the ad, that you got a guaranteed and exclusive ad impression positioning, and that you really serve those ads on a regional level. Exactly like in the key accounts, the story is I'm following users you already had, I'm using the cookies that I have, I'm using cookie pools. That is the story that the key account cares about. Retargeting, remarketing, frequency cappings, all of that. For the local advertiser, it's a bit different business, but they also need a story, because the click rate is not a story. The click rate is just too much condensed wrong information that makes the display ad always look bad. So my clear advice and recommendation here is, if you want to be successful with local advertisers and you're a publisher or an agency, build the banners for them, build great landing pages for them, and then track everything that happens on those pages to tell a story that the plumber, the restaurant owner, the local craftsman, the car dealership, whoever it might be, really cares about. And then display ad makes so much sense, because display ads are something that make and run the internet, and they still do. It's still a $400 billion market, and there is a reason for it, and there is a reason why the smartest companies still using it at scale. And I think the small and local advertisers should do it as well, if they have the right framework that they have with Smartico. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's make the attention CPM the new metric that counts for local and key account display advertisers, and let's ditch the click rate, because that is the totally wrong metric. Thank you very much for your attention.